Okay. Let's call the meeting to order at 6:01 PM. Okay, Billy Cutzer, I'm here. Thomas Boatwright is absent. Wendy Cambridge here. Pamela Prescott Capps is absent. Gail McClellan here. Randy Moses.
Present.
Okay. The agenda, do we need to change anything on the agenda before we move on? Everything looks okay? All right, I don't have any comments right now. So, oh yeah. The motion to approve the agenda. Okay. Wendy motions to approve the agenda, a second.
I second that.
Randy second. Ryan, sorry,
That's okay.
seconds. Okay, Ryan, what? All in favor? Sorry. That's okay, remind me, because just, but that me once. You're in the role here. I'm in the role, yeah. Okay, Randy, you want to welcome you as our new commissioner. It's gonna be nice to have a new face and hope you're willing to work hard because we got plans.
Thank you, I'm honored.
We need to approve the minutes of June 27th, 22. Does everybody have copies of them?
No, I wasn't here, no, I spoke to, both if they were okay, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read them.
Did you see all the minutes I sent?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Does anything need to be discussed on the minutes?
I think that was pretty,
Gail makes the motion to approve the minutes. The second,
Yeah.
and Ryan seconds. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, approve the minutes of December 13th, 2021, January 31st, 2022, February 28th, 2022, and March 28th, 2022. So have we got all of those?
We have September 13th.
I know we have January and February.
They've already
They've already been
in
approved.
prior meetings.
Okay. And in March,
March was sent out.
March
I
was
didn't
sent
get
out,
it from
okay.
Mike.
yeah, I thought March was sent
Oh,
out.
okay, it's been approved.
Okay, the minutes have been approved for December and January and February, right? Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the March minutes?
I motion to approve March.
Ryan motions to approve the March minutes.
on second.
Gail seconds. All in favor?
All right,
Motion, is approved. Okay, expansion of the current, one more. Which one?
September 13th, I believe.
Oh, okay, I don't have it on me. All right, and you've got those?
Yes, I sent them out.
Okay, I read it, I'm sure I did, because I have all my notes together, yeah. Okay, we have a motion to approve the September what? 13th, 2021 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Gail makes a motion to approve, second.
I second that.
Ryan seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
May I just say, I appreciate that that y'all read the minutes prior to coming. Because we have had many meetings where we're spending 10 minutes in the beginning reading it.
Yeah,
So thank you for.
yes, I mean, that works out for me.
Yes, thank you.
We can approve one.
Yeah, for the moment, yes.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the expansion of our current historic district. Does anybody have anything on that?
What, I don't see that.
Well, right here. Why is my agenda different than yours?
Have the next thing I have is the annual city council report.
Yeah,
It's not here. Okay, I'm sorry. What's my-
That's one that Lori gave me, so,
Let me see.
and she's just gave that to me today.
I was
That's
stressed.
weird. I've got two different ones. No?
So there's a new one?
Well,
No, this is it.
she printed something for me for, and Wendy.
Oh, this is just part of it, so I guess, this is the page. Yeah, I got this one. Let's see. Let's look at it.
We're now on old business number 4. Take my-
Is this it?
Yeah, that's on my, probably the.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think how quick we go.
Here. That's weird because it should have been the same. Okay, I'll just use yours, sorry about that.
No, you don't.
Okay, next thing is the, where am I on this? Oh, Number 4, the annual city council report must be presented to the city council by August 9th. I'm working on that currently, have it ready to submit. Anybody have any suggestions on what all we need to put in it?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Just,
What do you put in that annual report?
Accomplishments?
Your accomplishments and what you spent. So, I mean, I haven't been here before, but that's
Okay.
what I would expect that you
Okay.
probably have. And if you want to just, email me or Lori, we would probably have that. I don't have it on me, but
Okay,
I probably know what you spent year to date.
okay. So far, all we've spent was the money on the banners
Okay.
that I know of.
There's some in the files back in there you can look at. Some example.
they spent some money on us, to watch some video.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Um,
That too.
Lori has it.
Okay, yeah, okay,
What will city council, excuse me,
that's fine. Go ahead.
what will city council want to hear in her annual report? What do you think?
I think like Retta said, accomplishments, what your goals are, and then what you spent year to date. That's probably what I would
The
include.
number of COAs you did, how many were approved,
Okay,
how many were approved, conditional. We did this all these years, so there's a bunch in the back in the files that you can look at,
okay,
go by.
okay, thank you.
Do I want to show them what I?
Yes. Okay. The annual budget that we need to return for, October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023. The proposed budget was 3,500, that's what it was. And we have now, brought it up to, 6,800. And we have a list of what we're gonna do on it. 500 for supplies, printer, scanner, paper, ink, etc. 1,500 for trainings, 2,000 for the city, for markers for the city, and 800 for pamphlets, flyers, and booklets, totaling 6,800.
Where do we get that money? Do we actually have it?
No, so what my opinion is, if the council, follows my recommendation for what we're gonna be asking for on the ad valorem taxes, that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm thinking, because we've been going through the budget and I've been looking at what mean, your smaller item compared to some of the other ones, a bump of a couple $1,000 is not gonna be a big deal. We can make that work. As long as the budget stays healthy and
Yes.
they follow my recommendations, then I don't think it's probably yours.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this budget? Okay. Do I have a motion to accept this budget of $6,800 for October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023?
I motion to accept that budget.
Ryan motions to accept the budget, second,
I'll second
and Dale seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Okay. Okay, the next thing on the, list are, 2 people need to be reimbursed. We need to, reimburse Wendy for $37 for our rental of the post office box for 6 months. It ends, August 31st, 2022, and we need to decide if we want to continue that.
Did we get any mail?
And not.
Then I would say we should continue it.
Okay.
I don't know, see, I'm not in on all that, but if we're not getting any mail, is there a likelihood we'll get mail?
Well, that's what we're working on. We're hoping that's what we're building toward.
Then let's go another 6 months.
We get a physical mailbox out here.
Out here, this.
Right out here, count mailbox out here, but
Gail, like, we've been writing the newspaper articles, trying to encourage the community to start writing things in, sending pictures. At this point, nobody has. I have received a couple correspondences through the Facebook page, electronic, but nothing physical.
mail.
You know, Cheryl Grisham Allen, her dad used to be the barber here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she had told me that she had so many things that she could write about her dad, and, you know, he was the barber forever. But she didn't really know if it was appropriate or not. Should I just ask her to write
Yeah, it
something?
would be, appropriate. We're looking for his history,
And part of Martha history,
Yeah. history, family stories that, they want to keep alive for the next generations. And, funny stories like,
Anything.
all kind of stuff, it's,
Being a barber, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Some of the stories could be amazing.
Honestly,
She
though,
just grew up in
I
that
think for
barber.
the cost of that, that's a small cost for, considering the expansion of the scope of this mission, which I think people might start writing in.
That's what we're hoping for, yeah.
I'd say continue.
Quite a
Honestly, that's a small enough amount.
You know, somebody motion to extend it through another 6
A
months.
motion to extend it.
Okay, second.
Ryan motions to extend the post office box for another 6 months.
I second the motion.
Lindy seconds.
Next time you can make it.
Somebody's gonna write something that says, I guarantee it. I
So
have faith.
we have
So,
the, um,
For 105?
105,
PO Box 105.
Okay. And, so we need to discuss the $37 refund for Wendy and also $20 to purchase 264 GB flash drives. So that Wendy can put all of his information.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we do both of those things. And we,
Okay, we have a second.
I second that motion.
Okay, Gail made the motion, Ryan seconded, all in favor?
I,
Okay, motion carries. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, the next thing on the list is the goals for the year. The banners, I am very happy and excited to say that they have been ordered and paid for. So the banners are a done deal. Soon as they get them made, we found, and they're going to be beautiful. Everybody's going to be really happy to have them.
down on our list.
Yes, that one is accomplished. Okay, Wendy? What have you done on the
The
gateway?
gateways, I've had 2 meetings with the city and the Chamber of Commerce, look at that. And we are now inviting specific folks, to be on a committee to drive this thing. We've been talking about it, trying to put it together. I put together a request for proposal, RFP. City council had to approve it, and now the city is sending that out to get bids from contractors.
Okay.
To put up a stone monument gateway. And we hope to have our first meeting with the driving committee in September. And then those folks will decide what contractor's gonna do it, everything, where they're gonna go. And they will hopefully be coming from various groups around the community. So that's what it may be great progress.
Okay, that's great. Okay, the historic markers for Pittsburgh.
Well, you know, my name was just on there, but I'll pick it up. Eric is sick. He was the one that was, we met with them, and rather just on the phone, he's even been in the hospital, he has some real physical issues. And, so if I can get the information, our due date is passed, it was passed in May.
Yeah.
So the next time we can turn it in is next May.
Okay.
So we would think between now and next May, we could get this further enough, if we can get enough information. Reddit says there's some files back here.
Okay.
And I know Eric had some, and Linda Howard had some, and I don't know the.
So we basically need to start from scratch on this.
I kind of think,
Okay, okay.
but I know that Linda Howard and Eric might have these, we might not can find out again, but they've done so much research.
Yeah.
So, but we've got a few months to work on that.
And the one thing too is Linda Howard is originally from here.
Yeah.
From Canada, and has a history and lives in Pittsburgh. And she's really the one that has it.
But is she still not taking phone calls and everything? 'Cause we tried to
You
contact
said
her.
that you were gonna try to call her. Did you try to call her?
I have. I tried to call her, and I was pretty discouraged. Sorry about that.
I know that she was, yeah, these are not all. I mean, the guy set them up today, they're not on.
Is it on now?
It's the blues.
Yeah.
So, so I think in the next 6 or 8 months that we should be able to do something
There's a
about
deadline
Pittsburgh.
on this, and
Yes.
can you remember when it was?
You turn in the information in May.
May, so we have
Uh-huh.
until May.
We have the full month of May to do it. I guess it can be turned in at any time. I can check on that, but
I
they,
don't think so, I'm not
it's just
sure.
a certain window there.
Are we
I worked
leaving
on
you out?
No, I was just curious, so all of the existing markets that are in Pittsburgh need to be updated? On that, is what we're talking about.
No, putting up a new one, right?
Putting up
State
new
marker.
one.
State
Okay.
marker.
Big one, a big one, right, where you.
This is a site marker for the
Pittsburgh.
original town of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It's a site marker for that.
At our last meeting, I believe Pam Capps, said she would talk to Linda.
Well, we've all tried.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So you might call
She was
Pam.
gonna try to do that.
Well, you're in touch with Pam a lot, right?
Yeah.
So if she does, could you let me know?
I'll talk to her.
All right, okay.
I'll just go over and see Linda.
I know we've talked about that, but if she won't answer her phone, she probably won't open her door.
Well, she was pretty sick when this all happened, but it's been a while. She's had time to rest. Maybe she's better.
Okay.
Find out.
Okay, when you start the research on Pittsburgh, if you need any help, let me know.
Well,
It comes out.
I'm gonna be in here tomorrow, or
Are you gonna be in here tomorrow?
I'm gonna be here tomorrow and Wednesday, in the back, and I'll pull those out. I know, where all the files are.
Okay, I have a dentist appointment at 10, but after that, I'll come over here.
Okay, let's see. That would should work. After 10,
Yeah,
we're having a KBB birthday party and breakfast, and then I should be back here by
Okay.
11 at least.
okay, sounds good.
And we'll just get back in there and I'll show you where they are.
Okay. Perfect.
And so, I know that I've heard it discussed in our meetings, suggestions for historic markers for other things, but I am clueless as to what those other things are.
That is yet to be developed.
Okay.
That group is yet to be developed, but the Pittsburgh is definitely on the radar.
Yeah, we had talked about like just local city markers on the buildings too, instead of the state ones.
We need to get together a committee. So if you ever want to get involved in a committee, Ryan, we have lots of things
Lots
you
of
can get
committees.
involved in.
That's good, that's good.
Are the cattle drives part of these?
That is another one that we want to research, all the
Yes.
different trails and cattle drives around and through. You know, we want to get that gathered together.
Have you talked about the national registration markers, like it's on the purse hat and it's on the old Lindemann store? That's the ones that for the National Registry District for the property in it. Wasn't that included?
We're gonna look at all of them.
Okay.
Just the subject matter kind of markers, the national markers, the state markers. We just need to be looking. This, we're assuming some of these buildings will not qualify for any kind of federal or state. Because that's a pretty steep hill you have to climb, but we can at least put subject markers up that we pay for and the businesses themselves, maybe jointly pay for.
Would you like to work on that?
Yeah.
National Registry District would be an ideal place to start
Yes.
because it's designated.
Mm-hmm.
If you look on Earth's hats up over the door,
Yes, ma'am.
my house is could to have one. Lindemann's has
Okay.
one. And all the ones that are contributing should have one in the district.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Probably about $300.
You'll have to Google it and
Okay.
find out. The other thing, Ryan, we were talking about on these markers is actually a QR code.
Hmm.
So we put the basic information on the marker, and then the QR code goes on it, and they can get the in-depth history of that place.
But that way it doesn't have to be so big.
Yes.
The history to begin with. So
Right,
that
so
makes
if you
sense.
start researching, look for markers, whatever
Because
kind that have
I'll
QR.
let you start with my house, in fact, if you want to work on it. I need to get one on it.
So you want to go ahead and be the head of the committee, whoever's.
I could try.
You don't have time to learn to swim, you just jump in.
Okay, right now, it's just like a committee of one in most cases, but,
Yeah,
if you need my help or anything,
okay,
I'm pretty much free now, so just give me a call or text me or something.
okay. That'll work.
And I'd be happy to meet with
Do
you.
you have her
sometime.
phone number?
Yeah, you
No,
got it.
but I'll get it.
You don't have it?
Or
Okay,
I guess it's probably on your emails, isn't it?
I'll give it to you.
I may not.
Well, I just say that because I didn't have her phone number. And I needed to get in touch with her, so.
You got a pen?
Yep. I do.
210. You want this to be public?
Oh, no, just don't make it public.
Okay.
That's true. Okay, the next thing is the portals of Blanco booklet. Hollis isn't here tonight, but I did take pictures of the historic district that she requested for the booklet and sent it to her. So I don't know where it's gone from there, but she does have the photographs that she was needing for that.
If when you're here tomorrow, well, look, she had left a packet, it may be back there in the room.
Right, Ryan, just to bring you up to speed, Hollis has been in this community for years and years. I'm a longtime resident.
Born and raised here.
There you go. And this booklet, she's been collecting stories and the Billie Jean's gotten pictures. Where it's at, last we knew with Hollis, is her daughter-in-law is formatting it, putting all this new stuff into it. And do you have a booklet?
Mhm.
We'll get you a booklet.
I don't
Okay.
have any.
We'll get you a booklet.
There's not that many left.
But you found them the last time and our commissioners, they were,
Unless you don't mind.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
very much.
have one of these. And so that's what we're upgrading, updating, and it'll be close to 100 pages, we understand.
Okay,
So she's doing that.
No,
Rebecca Howerton's daughter and son-in-law did this one years ago when this became a National Registry district. And so when we talked about updating it, they wanted to expand it and change it a lot.
Okay.
So all that stuff is like, that she was working on this back there together.
nice.
Okay, Wendy, what have you got on the walking tour pamphlet?
Well, what I've got is, I believe, Retta told me that the printer was Westcott.
It was Westcott. Jonelle was chairman that was done, and it was expanded over
I don't
what
think she's
Linda
doing
had
it
done.
anymore.
And I think it was Marcy Westcott.
Yeah, I don't think she's doing it anymore.
So, and I know I've talked to Jonelle about this. What I need to find out from Jonelle is if she has the document that she sent to the printer,
Okay.
if that's like electronic digital or not. If not, I will recreate it on the computer and then add the parts that we're talking about, which is a few rock walls,
Mhm.
and then go out to bid to a printer.
Yeah, and I've heard there's one in Fredericksburg that's really good that's not that expensive, so I can check into that and find out which one it is.
Okay, Fredericksburg and then Johnson City.
I think we have some new ones in Blanco too, since we've dealt with this. Well, I know since we've dealt with Marcy on it.
Okay. Anything else on the pamphlets? Okay, and Wendy, what have you got on cuts and curls?
I have mailed a letter that we approved.
You about to go?
Yes. And I have not heard anything from them. They are to contact Warren if they have any questions or concerns. His name and phone number's in there for him, and I'm guessing you haven't heard from them either.
No, I have not.
So we've sent the letter, we're waiting to hear back.
Okay. And that's all of the old business. To move on to the new business, HPO Rudy Nino has submitted his resignation. Do we have a motion to accept that?
I move we accept that.
Second,
I second that.
all approved? Motion carries.
Saturday, we don't see him go.
He's a huge asset.
So
Has been vital.
I have a question, Warren.
Mhm.
What happens now? Do we look for another HPO or does it go to you or how does this work?
So that's actually a responsibility of the mayor, and I think she's
Okay.
been putting something together. So
Oh, okay,
I'll talk to her tomorrow. I was actually gonna talk to her today, and then she ended up leaving, but I know, I was talking to Lori, and I know they've been putting something together. There's a couple different options. If that position doesn't work, like if we don't find someone, that's like Rudy, and then, we might fold it into a part-time position we already have. And then there's some options I'm working on, so
okay.
let's see what Bear comes up with first, and if that doesn't provide fruitful, then I'll step in and we'll figure something out. But I'll
Well,
make
they-
sure we have HPO.
do they have to have a certification of sorts? Like Rudy was very knowledgeable. Do they have to have that knowledge and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but
According to the UBC, they do.
Yeah, according to the
That
UBC.
is
they do.
the historic commission selected Rudy, and I'm recommended him because of his knowledge. And a builder and that has studied historic, because they have to know how to do reviews and everything. But when we did this, and we were looking for one, we were saying that maybe part-time, that we would partner with another town with theirs, because it doesn't have to be.
Well, if we're gonna end up paying someone to step into his shoes,
You don't pay.
you don't pay any HPO? Cause he
has
said,
never been paid. that's
no,
the
he
problem.
hasn't.
Not in the town this size.
But are they looking at paying someone to do his responsibility?
I don't think so yet. However, if you actually look at the UBC, Rudy came in before I got here, so I was not part of this. It actually says in the UDC that it's supposed to be a person on staff. That is not the case. So I guess what I'm saying is we're gonna try our best to find someone that's volunteer. If we don't have a qualified person, we'll have to look at other options. I don't have any money in the budget for that, but again, we're budget time. So I will do my best to make sure that you have an HPO. It's unfortunate that Rudy's left because he was really good. So we'll see. We'll try our best.
Well, you know, we're not just gonna accept just anybody.
But you know, there's a lot of training at the Texas
Sure.
Historic Commission too, because they train. And that's where they really are involved with the Texas Historic Commission. So a good builder might come in and be trained through their training, you know.
All right, let's see, Rudy, has also made recommendations in number 2 of new business. BHPC prepaid funds, the following money will be paid and should be suggested and deposited in the local bank. Chair will check with the city for their recommendations regarding the disposition of funds. $2,150 since the summer of 2020. Payment was made in full to Manning Signs LLC of Austin, Texas. And $800 since 2017. Texas Historic Commission awards the recorded Texas Historic Landmark marker. The Byers Building did not meet the historic significance. So I'm new at this, forgive me, but I'm not quite sure what he's talking about. If anybody does,
I don't understand.
Gail, Wendy, do you understand it?
I think he's recommending monies that we've already paid out to folks that we did not receive
The service.
the service in return
Okay.
should be reclaimed,
That's what I was thinking.
but
We
we
asked for a refund?
refund, and then we've not, we've already been told by the city that we can't have our own bank account.
Yeah.
So we'd have to talk with the city about, once we have these funds returned to us, how are they processed through the city, back into our budget, you know,
Back into your budget,
yes.
it came out of your budget.
So that's,
I mean, back into your budget.
yes, back in our
Right,
budget.
Why would you not continue? They're not gonna try to get a marker for this. I mean, why would you not try to get this
Well,
work done on
since
this?
it's been
and get the marker
since it's
right
been
here?
so long, is it feasible to even ask for the money back?
Well, I think that's a lot of money. I think we've got to ask for it
Okay.
back, $2,150.
Okay.
For the last 2 years, we ought to ask it back with interest.
And Rudy had said that he has talked with the gentleman and Mr. Manning, and Rudy said that he was willing to refund us that money. So honestly, with the new Gateway Committee coming in, I'm not sure what they're going to decide, how they're gonna do it, but
That could be funds that could go for the new.
that absolutely could be funds going for the new Gateway.
So if you do get that money back, then we'll have to do, and that means this money coming in, and we'll have to do a budget amendment. And there's some cleanup budget amendments the city's gonna have to do anyway, because, you know, we're gonna have to do anyway. So, because the last year's budget doesn't match what I thought it would match. So we're gonna have to do a budget amendment, but you'll actually do a budget amendment because we can't just put more in the store or any other, you know, anything else from the city. We can't just add money. I don't have the authority to do that. That's what I'm getting at.
But this won't be part of our new budget. This is separate from the budget we just approved a while ago.
Money we're already spent.
Yeah, this would be added to that.
But you don't have a bank account. We just established that.
Maybe they'll make it out to us.
So, but you'll get your money back. We'll just have to do a budget amendment for this year to credit that to you.
Okay,
And do I need to meet with you or anything over this, or?
You'll just have to tell me how much you're gonna be, if you can just email me or Lori how much you're able to collect,
Okay,
then we'll make sure that that's credited to the correct
okay.
people.
Can I ask, all this time, we have been trying to get the Fires building back into qualifications for the marker. That's why it's been held. Is that no longer a desire of the commission?
When I was doing the walking tour with Rudy and he was showing me things, he said what held up the marker were, these are new windows. They're not the original windows, and that's one of the things that held it up.
I don't know, but yeah.
And, that those windows would have to go back to the old window specifications in order to get them marked.
That's
That's
another
another
thing.
subject, another topic.
Even when he redid the front, he changed some things that disqualified us. But I think y'all need to look at what we need to do to get it qualified.
So
before
do
you
we
make
need to
your
put that
decision.
on new business for the next agenda?
Well, who's gonna tell us
We've
what we
always
need to do?
wanted to.
We would have
the
to
Fires
hire-
Building the marker on it.
we
It's
would
the
have-
oldest building in the town.
Right. We'd have to hire a contractor who does historical renovations and get their opinion. So it would be a consultant cost to us to have that done.
I know one, Patrick Sparks. He's worked with twin sisters.
He does. It's a
You do
building.
historic
Yeah,
renovations?
a lot of them work like that. Yeah. Start building. I think
It should be.
I could volunteer my time to at least
He's a builder.
figure out what needs to be
Okay.
done.
That would be
I'm not
super.
allowed to work on them anymore, but as long as I'm on the commission, but I can consult and
Okay, that's
figure
great.
out what needs to be done.
Have you ever worked with the Secretary of Interior Standards? That's what the Historic Commission has to work with, the Secretary of Interior Standards.
Okay,
All you have to do is work with Texas Historic Commission, and you can do it because he can learn to do this.
I'll send you the links.
okay, thank you very much.
All right, the next item is UDC concerns. One of the things that has been brought to my attention is the wine bar next to the, drugstore. And all of the windows are completely covered where you can't see in. And, I was reading up on it in the, what's the name of that thing?
In our UDC
Was it in the UDC?
or the design?
Design guide, that's.
Design guide.
yeah. And it's like it's not real clear. No, I think there's some.
And the design guidelines, which was beautifully put together before us,
You can put it together.
Yeah, here it is.
our
Yeah,
guidelines.
it is.
Oh, yep, I did print one of those out.
Okay, on these design guidelines, when I was reading it, I was told they were out of compliance, but it says up here recommendations. And it's number B, under recommendations. So does that mean that it's just something we recommend and then it's their decision ultimately?
If in the district, it is a standard. The design, the guidelines are a standard in the district. Outside of the district, they're a guideline. So
So this, the
It's a standard.
recommendations is what threw me on. Because that doesn't really make it clear that they must.
So can we send this over to you, Warren, and just let us know the design guidelines, are really extremely helpful. Rudy uses it a lot when he looks at things. But I'm not convinced either that it gives us any teeth. If it does, as Red is saying, then we would really appreciate you letting us confirm that, and then we
it
can
is
move
used
forward.
in a review for a COA. Our decisions for a COA come out of this as well as other things.
Right,
But
but
it
can we,
definitely is, that's why we have design guidelines.
Yeah.
right, understood, but, and when it comes to blocked windows, that's kind of a different
Well, see,
animal, so.
if it was like, this is not supposed to be done, that's one thing, but this is under recommendations. And that's what's throwing me off. If it's a recommendation, can we,
Can you enforce the
can you enforce the recommendation? That's my.
That's a suggestion, and that's why I'm asking Warren to confirm.
So do we know why they've done this? Have we ever talked about it?
I have no idea. I have not talked to them. And the other thing with them is on their property in the back, they put up a tin wall. A tin wall instead of following proper, guidelines for a fence or privacy fence, whatever, it's all rusted tin.
Well, that we can actually, that, I could, so I was gonna mention this, and I didn't bring this individual today, but, we have what we call, we've hired a community compliance officer. Can't call them code enforcement because they're not licensed as code enforcement,
Okay,
but a community enforcement, I guess you call that. Then I'll have him look at that. On first blush, if the fencing issue will deal with, I don't know if it will deal with blocked windows, but I'll take a look at it.
okay, yeah, because on the highway side from the bowling alley, you can barely see it. 'Cause there's a nice fence there.
Okay.
But on Bensall Park side, it's completely visible, right?
May I recommend that the UDC, the walk that you did with Rudy,
Yes.
she's typed up everything that you discussed. And I talked with her about them as well. Many of them are co-compliance issues, not historic district issues.
Okay.
But compliance issues and safety issues. So if she sends those to you, that'll give you some.
I'll do that.
I can give you this copy, or would you rather just have her send it online?
Well, that was just an abbreviated
Okay.
copy, so,
Yeah, if she wants to send it to me, anything that's code related or UDC related,
okay,
I definitely can deal with. Anything that is historic district, I'll look and see what administration's authority is on it.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
just depends on what this, I'll look at this, but code stuff, if the fence isn't the correct material, if it's too tall, if something isn't, if there's weeds that are over 12 inches tall, things like that we can take care of.
okay,
And now that we have a community compliance officer part-time, I will get that person to kind of start working on those things.
I'm driving around on Sunday, or on Saturday.
Yeah, he was driving around Saturday.
Oh, like, I was hungry, I haven't
Just
seen one.
things that I didn't point out.
Seen one on Saturday.
They enforced our codes of this historic.
Okay.
4.11.
Okay, I'll take a look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, that's-
You bet.
Historic commission.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on to new business. I had a meeting with the mayor and she requested that we look at starting to plan for Blanco's 175th celebration in 7 years. Fredericksburg just had theirs and it took them 10 years to plan. And so she wanted us to start looking at things we could do historically with, a goal of 7 years for that. Kicking around ideas, that kind of stuff.
May I ask, in the Fredericksburg example, the city, I'm assuming, was involved,
Yes.
perhaps the Chamber of Commerce. It wasn't all on the historic. committee.
No, that's just our part.
So we need to develop that committee if she hasn't already.
I was thinking maybe some of us could go to Fredericksburg, make an appointment to meet with the Historic Commission over there and see what they do.
And then bring it back to the city, and then
And
there needs to be a larger committee than
yes, yeah,
to manage them.
just go over there and meet with them and maybe they can give us their notes or their outlines or whatever. And then come back and then we can figure out from there.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do I have a motion to go meet with Fredericksburg Historic Commission?
I think it's my turn. I'll make a motion that we go and meet with the Fredericksburg people.
Okay,
I second that.
Brian seconds, all in favor?
I,
Who would like to go?
well, depending on the time, I'll be glad to go.
Okay,
If I don't have another commitment.
okay, you and me?
That'd be great.
Okay, we'll do that. I'll call them and find out about that.
Okay.
See if I set up a time.
Good.
Okay, and the next thing she asked about was having a Heritage Day to correspond with the trail ride coming through the first Saturday in February, 2023. And some of the ideas that Wendy and I have bounced around is getting the history classes in school involved, getting each business on their square to do something and maybe have a community picnic at Bensall Park. you know,
Those are good ideas.
something to pull in the history that goes along with the trail ride.
It'd be a great way to bring in those, trail drives, those cattle drives.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would do it, bring it in, but it'd be,
It's true.
there would be a way, but that would be good. Yeah.
it'd be appropriate. And maybe, you know, when I first moved to El Paso, they had, big days once a month, and they always had a storyteller booth, and the person told stories.
That's a great idea.
And you could tell, you know, maybe we could get enough of the older people to come through and tell stories about Blanco, or maybe if worse came to worse, they could just tell cattle drive stories.
Yeah.
You know, we could get
Mhm,
enough people. Maybe we could do that in Bensall Park, you know,
Yeah, that would-
have some stations around that they could travel to for the kids to learn their history of Blanco.
that would be good.
Yeah. That would be very nice.
That would be, yeah.
So who's gonna take this project on?
It's too big a project for just one person.
Yeah, I'll work on it because I'm one of the cattle drive cooks.
Well, see there, and you know, Dennis Moore should have a lot, I bet he'd set up his truck, well, he's gonna be in the trail drive, so,
No, he's not in, he never does go in the hill country trail. Ride.
oh, he doesn't?
No.
I thought they used to,
They
but he
used to-
might come and set up his chuck wagon,
Oh, that would be great,
you
yeah.
know? I'm not saying he would, cause he's not in good health, but
Yeah,
anyway.
but he might have some employees that.
Yeah, he might would. We could start and ask him and
Yeah.
then just have stations, you know, that, so nothing's all focused right here.
Yeah.
You know, just have things that people could spread out and not be
And
so.
not be so,
crowded.
yeah.
We
So,
could talk about that, just
Okay.
brainstorm stations.
yeah,
I bet there's lots of people who like to have a station.
yeah. That would be good.
So that's good info. Yeah, go for it.
So, you want to talk to Dennis?
I will,
Okay,
I'll ask him.
okay. That'd be good since I'm connected with the trail drive.
Yeah,
That way
and
somebody
he could put some of his buggies on
display or
display
something.
or
Yeah,
something. Or we could send people to him. Maybe he'd give a couple hours of free museum passes.
yeah,
or
or something like that, yeah.
You're on a roll.
You are, that's great.
Just go with it, girl.
You just hit a
Do
lucky
you have any
moment.
ideas?
I was thinking about talking to Dennis as well. I thought that's the first time we need to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, even though I know he's got health issues, but I think that's a good idea.
Another
Like,
thing-
Just displaying somebody possibly, you know.
Yeah. Just see what, I mean, this is not till February, but that's gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah. And the other thing put on there when you're talking to Dennis, since he's got the movie studio and all that stuff now, about maybe, getting some people in costume around the square.
Oh, I know he'd love to do that. He'd probably, you know, they could just travel around the square. Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves to dress up. And he's got lots of connections with big time movie
Yeah, he does.
cowboys, so.
He does.
We'll just let him use his own creativity, and his daughter's really
Yeah,
help
she
with all
is.
that.
Yeah. So that sounds like a good way to go then.
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, we'll work on that. Gail and I will go to Fredericksburg on the 175th. So do we have a motion on the Heritage Day?
It's your turn.
What am I watching?
Huh?
I was gonna say, what exactly we motion on?
I don't know. I don't know.
Motion to approve.
Oh, we're just
Move.
discussing it, we don't need a motion? Okay, we don't need a motion, okay,
Unless there's something we're absolutely deciding.
okay.
No,
I think we're just brainstorming this.
Okay, brainstorming for now. Okay, Retta, do you have anything on, streetscapes?
Well, we have a new, member on our committee, and that's Moses Hawk, that is, Uptown Blanco, manager of the restaurant and certain things, and he will be the one that takes Carolyn Zabatoski's place when she retires with Uptown Blanco, and so he's joined us and is on the committee on fundraising with me
Okay.
And so that, we have our master planner, but y'all know that is Susan Cumberton. She has her first check, issued to her. What's holding us up is we have to have a survey, and we're doing it by phases, and our first phase is this side of Pecan Street down to possibly the creek. I'm not sure how far it will go, but it'll be from old 300. So this is the first phase of the master plan. And so we aren't sure at this point what the surveyor, Colin McNeil, has been taking that over as chair of that committee. And he's lined up one. And so we'll have our meeting on this. What date is his city council meeting? We meet on the Monday before the city council meeting at
Yeah,
11 o'clock on Mondays.
Isn't it the
Here.
ninth?
August 9th is the next regular schedule.
So we'll be making a decision on our surveyor and then get it going.
Okay.
And so we need to get our fundraising going again. It's kind of gone dormant because it got held up on several different things.
And
Our
that is,
second phase will probably be Third Street.
Okay. Did you say something, Gail?
no, I'll say it later. It goes back to another thing, so we can
Okay.
just go forward.
Go forward, okay. Things that need to be on the agenda for the next session.
Well, we need to continue this new business about the celebration and Heritage Day.
Yep, that goes on there. And I was thinking of something else.
Need to follow up.
By then, Mark will have more about the, cut curls. or whatever.
Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
Carl.
And the wine.
Cover. Yeah,
I think we're going to review everything that we've already
got.
We'll bring it back, but is there anything new beyond that
Yeah,
that we want to add to the agenda?
I can't think of anything right now. Okay. We went to the 281, future construction town hall. And, I gave y'all my notes on that. Trying to think what I want to say about it. It's a mess. It's a real mess. And we're gonna have to fight to keep 281 from coming through Blanco and destroying the historic district. And Wendy, go ahead, you were at the meeting also.
Do you have an extra notes on those?
Yes,
Because
I
we
do.
didn't get to go and we want to listen to it on virtual.
The text dot was asked directly, are you going to widen the lanes in this area, historic districts? And they said no, they were not. They are coming in with 6 lanes eventually into town, both north and south. Folks are asking, what about a bypass, or they preferred it to be called a relief road to go around Blanco's to reduce the traffic that's already crazy through here.
Did you get one?
I did not.
And I guess the one thing that got folks most excited was if we do a bypass or a relief route, that expense would be on the town, the county, and all others, not TxDOT, because they already have 281. It goes right through here. If we want it to be bypassed, then that will be paid for by others.
Let me explain that a little more. TxDOT now, I don't know, ways back, last 10, 15 years, is getting away from the acquisition of property. So they'll build it for you. So for example, where I was at Sealy, we wanted a feeder road. They would build it. They spent whatever, $10 million to build it. They wouldn't spend, and it costs us about $1 million to get the right of way. So it's always been a problem, even years ago when we looked at doing it. TxDOT's agreed to have a study. They've agreed that they would build the wrap around, or whatever you want to call it, the business route, but they won't acquire the property now. I personally didn't want to scare TxDOT away, because we want to make sure they'll have meetings with us and actually talk to us. But I think the approach is that it's incredibly unfair to ask the community to pay for, I mean, that's not our residents, there's all San Antonio or Austin or Georgetown people that are coming through our town. So at least from the council, when I've talked to them, I think the approach that we're gonna take, to be honest with you, is we're gonna talk to Dr. Nancy Campbell, or talk to our state reps. I think the way to get their attention is political, not to attack them at the meeting, but to politically put some pressure on our state reps and people like that. And the judge is already on board. He doesn't like it either. So, but I think that's the approach. No sense in shooting the messenger, which is TxDOT, because they don't have, I mean, Kathy didn't make that decision. But the decision from the upper level is that, yeah, it's gonna go through Blanco. Well, the problem is, I mean, you asked to talk to chief, six lanes, and then it's gonna funnel down 4 here, and then it's gonna become 6 again. And my question to them not during this meeting, but a prior meeting to them was, have you looked at any kind of traffic calming, not just a wraparound, not just like that, but also ways that we could make sure we're not splitting the town in half. And there was crickets. So that means that meeting was a wake up call to the community to let them know, hey, we got a problem. No, they want to jump on the TxDOT, but yes, they're not going to pay for a wrap or build it, but they will pay for the acquisition. So that's all. I just want to make sure those.
Okay.
And that's almost some of the most prime real estate, I think, to go through as well.
Well, that
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
question,
Yes, there's property out there, and that's wonderful. But
It would take a $2 or $3 million bond, probably. If I think $3 million bond to get all that, that property on
for section
165.
go right to the center of that. So,
Maybe.
That's the reason to do
you
it.
gotta buy the whole area, that's the only problem. You can't split it. You gotta buy
well,
the
did
whole
I
thing.
understand right at that meeting? Somebody asked her a question about coming through Blanco, and she said that TxDOT was willing to work with Blanco on a wraparound or whatever. But if they had to, they would just come right on through town,
Bulldoze through it.
bulldoze through it.
That's what I.
That's what I heard.
Well, we have other issues with traffic, because since the city council allowed all that building up on the other side of the elementary school, across from the old gym, Mesquite, and those roads up there have so much traffic on them that it's not good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic up in my area that used to just be lazy roads, So somehow, and there's one home that's sold, and they have 6 cars parked at their home. So the Cuts and Curls guy, her boyfriend or whatever he is, he's got that little block, and he's putting in 20-something homes, and the traffic around those schools wasn't considered when it was approved, and it was approved during COVID when the community never knew what was going on. There should be some way to backtrack
So you're
on
talking about Los Altos.
that. I'm not sure what I'm talking about.
You're talking about Los Altos. I wasn't here, but that was a PDD that got approved by council. I mean, I'm telling you what happened. That was a PDD, that's a planned unit development that was approved by council in 2 phases. So the first phase is going in now, the second phase will work.
And what it's doing to the
And I
town,
don't know if they did,
it's bad.
I don't know if they did traffic impact analysis. I don't know.
No, I don't
Oh, I
think
just know there's a traffic impact, because I drive those roads all the time. There's definitely a traffic impact, and people let their kids drive that don't have license yet. And they let them drive on those roads, and now it's not safe for those kids to learn to drive on those roads.
Another thing that was on there, it was approved because it was supposed to be affordable housing. And I don't think it's affordable
No.
housing,
It's not affordable.
but it was approved based on that.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and adjourn if there's no other, and then y'all can talk about this.
No, it gets my
Okay.
blood pressure up. Y'all need to stop talking.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
Okay. Motion, all in favor? Motion carries.
You think it gets my blood pressure up? You should have seen Keith's blood pressure when I found out he voted for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know it was going in. I had no idea because it was during COVID. You shouldn't be able to make this public decisions like that when nobody knows.
Oh, I thought it was before vote.
No, it was right smack dab in